Good morning. My name is Maureen Kelly, and I have been asked to speak regarding the Livestream ministry, which is a relatively new ministry here, called into existence by our experience of COVID as a way to stay connected as community. It continues to exist for those who are homebound or unable to be physically present because of mobility, health, or distance issues, limitations. So what does Livestream involve? At present, there's 3 people present at the liturgy to be physically in the center, and 1 person prepares the slides which have words or images which are used as the participation aid. So TJ asked me to speak because at Parish Council I said, I am in the Livestream team, and I hate computers. I am not a techie. So then how did I come to be on the team? Well, most of us have, one of these, a little cell phone, and you press this little icon and you kind of go, and you zoom in, zoom out, you take a picture. And then, if you got a little bit of skill, you go into another little icon that says photos, and then you kind of go through and you put a check mark, and then you kind of email or text or airdrop, to somebody. That's the limit of my skills. So, but basically, that describes 2 of the 3 positions here in the center: rear camera and director. So, most of you have sufficient skill to be able to participate in this ministry. Now, to clarify, and in fairness, our primary guru is Tom Hayes, and yes, he would greatly appreciate more help if you have more skills. He moves cables, runs connection checks, adjusts for sound and lighting, upload and download speeds, dropped frames, general troubleshooting, and setting the 3 ceiling cameras every time we adjust the configuration of the church. So these have to be adjusted for angle, background, lighting, what overall kind of framing options best allow for our at-home community to feel involved and a part of our worship. So, there's definitely a welcome for your assistance. We currently have only a small group of volunteers, and in transparency, I need to say that sometimes, when you're the director, for me, I didn't feel like I was at Mass because I was so worried about choosing the next shot. But that was also my experience when I first started to acolyte. So, I think as you grow comfortable with some of the techniques, you can kind of settle into the prayer in a different way and actually become more conscious of what's happening in the prayer. So, why do I volunteer? I am a home health worker. I know from visiting many who are homebound how disconnected that can feel, and how important community, often church community, is for helping us through those hard times. It wasn't because I had great skill that I offered to help. It was because I knew this was a valuable and is a valuable ministry. The gift has been that I have been treated so kindly. Tom is willing to go over small details repeatedly and patiently. Jim Cabral, the first time I directed, I told him, you can't be a Eucharistic minister. You have to sit here by me because I'm so nervous. Bob Stark changed his Christmas Eve schedule with his family so that I wouldn't have to be alone. Paul Funke, during the Christmas Eve service, when we had 2 instead of 3, realized that Bob was running back and forth to the camera, to the sound, to the camera, to this. He says, would you need somebody on the rear camera? We practically threw the headset at him, you know, because on the rear camera, you got a little headset where the director's saying, can you be prepared for the next shot? So that was just generous. So it's community helping community. It's enlarged my experience of the community and made me more sensitive to so many more issues. So, perhaps one of you, and there's a lot of young folks here, hey, this would be a piece of cake to you. Maybe you could try it. You know, it's not that difficult. So I will be, and Greg that's on the rear camera will be in the connector if you're interested at all. And Tom's going to be in the AV room, so you can see this is not like a major production. You could certainly help out. Give it a try, stretch a little. It'd be good for you.
Thank you, Maureen. So I have to tell you, the AV room is one of the proud moments, I think, of our parish community. So we installed the AV room long before COVID. It was when we were doing the construction on the connector and redoing the narthex and installing the new restrooms and all of that. We installed the AV room. And there was a lot of back and forth, and it got a little heated a couple of times over the level of quality of equipment we would have in that space and to what end. And so in the end, we decided to go with not the most expensive, but not the cheapest either, of equipment, just to make sure that we had enough flexibility to offer what we could through that. Well, lo and behold, we didn't know that we were getting ourselves ready for a pandemic, and that we were situated very well that very first Sunday when everything closed down, that we were ready to go online immediately because of this ministry. So, as Maureen said, it is a ministry that has grown out of the need of the COVID situation. We continue to offer it because the feedback we've received from our Homebound and people who are sick just on the weekend and unable to come to church that particular weekend, of just that connection that it makes to the community. So I really do, as Maureen said, she's not a techie. You know, it's not a high skill necessarily. If you can use your cell phone, you should be able to help with that. So please prayerfully consider being a part of that ministry. It's such a vital part of our outreach to the broader community. So please, just beg you to pray about it and consider it seriously. Okay? Thank you.